I thought I was done talking about Jen Shah today after she pled guilty to fraud charges in her federal fraud case. Well, now we're getting the actual transcript of how this played out, and Jen Shah admits that she is guilty, 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 guilty. Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, your #1 source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So as you know, earlier today, we had the breaking news that Jen Shah pled guilty to the federal fraud case that was looming over her and was set to go to trial on July 18th. Well, now I had to do another story because we have the literal transcripts of how this played out in court. And I have to tell you, I wouldn't do a video if I felt it wasn't worth us going through line by line. It won't be too long, but buckle up and grab a snack. I'll wait. I'm not going to wait. Pause the video. All right. So this Jen situation, as I said to you before, I do not take glee in this whole situation because I feel for her family that have to deal with the outcome of this. And everyone, including Meredith Marks over the weekend, in our country, everyone is innocent until proven guilty. Agreed. But she's admitting in court. And you know, I said, you know, some people will take a plea because they don't want to serve a lot more time than they would after a trial or put themselves through a trial. She's already paying a lot for her attorneys. And now, according to this situation, she's going to have to cough up $6.5 million. And then once she gets released, $9 million in restitution. So let me just go through the transcript of this. Okay, so this is coming from Inner City Press, and they've been covering this case before Jen Shah was even involved. They said, okay, Jen Shah of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is here in courtroom 23A. Damn. It's for the, quote, change of plea to guilty. Inner City Press has been covering the case even before Shah was added to it, and they were live tweeting all of this, okay? So, all rise. Judge Sidney Stein. Ms. Shah, do you wish to plead guilty to count 1 of the indictment? Shah, yes, Your Honor. Judge Stein, I will need to ask you certain questions. Judge Stein continues. If there were a trial, you could see and hear all the witnesses against you and your attorney could cross-examine them. Do you understand those rights? Shah, yes, Your Honor. Judge Stein, you'll be giving up all these rights and there will be no trial. Do you understand? Shah, yes, Your Honor. Judge Stein, did you read the indictment? Yes, I did. Shah. Judge Stein continues. You are charged in count 1 with conspiracy to commit wire fraud in connection with telemarketing. Do you understand? Shah, yes, Your Honor. The judge. AUSA Fletcher set forth the elements. AUSA speaks. An agreement to violate the law and entered it knowingly. Judge Stein, do you understand the maximum penalty is 30 years in prison? Whew. Shah, yes, Your Honor. Presumably there is a plea agreement that will be made public in this proceeding. Watch the feed. This is according to Inner City. Note, to get guilty, this is from Inner City, to get guilty plea to count 1, U.S. dropping count 2, conspiracy to commit money laundering from 2012 to November of 2019. So you remember we reported on that earlier today when we covered what Ronald Richards reported. So if she pleads guilty to count 1, count 2 will be removed. Judge Stein, you understand you will lose valuable rights, including the right to vote and bear arms, meaning a weapon or shooting a gun. Jen Shah says, I do. Judge Stein, after I receive your pre-sentencing report, I will determine guidelines which in any event do not bind me. Do you understand that the system of parole has been abolished except for good time credit at the facility where you are located? Shah says, yes. Judge Stein, I have before me a document sent to you and your lawyers. Did you read it before you signed it? Shah, Yes. Judge Stein, are there any side deals I should know about between her and the prosecution? Shah says, no, Your Honor. Judge Stein, in this agreement, you've agreed to not appeal if I sentence you to 168 months in prison or fewer. Shah responds, yes, Your Honor. So keep in mind, 168 months is 14 years in prison. So after he says you won't appeal this, and she says, yes, Your Honor, Judge Stein says, and you've agreed to forfeit $6 million and restitution of $9 million. Shah says, yes, Your Honor. The judge continues. He says, Ms. Shah, what did you do? This is why I had to come and talk to you about this, because they are making her admit all of what she did in this case. So Judge Stein says, Ms. Shah, what did you do? Shah, wire fraud, offering services with little to no value. We use interstate telephones and emails. I knew many of the purchasers were over the age of 55. I am so sorry. Judge Stein, what is the reason they bought? Shah responds, misrepresentations regarding the value of the product or service of which had little to none. Judge Stein, did you know it was wrong and illegal? Shah responds, yes, Your Honor. Judge Stein says to AUSA Fletcher, what proof does the government have? AUSA, we were made aware of the FTC investigations against floors the defendant worked with between 2017 and 2021. Beyond being a lead broker, she had a Manhattan-based sales floor. She oversaw it. AUSA continues. She did not put her name on bank accounts associated with the business. She only got paid in cash through a company credit card and a New York City apartment she lived in. She used encrypted applications and moved operations offshore to Kosovo and in Corp in Wyoming. Judge Stein, what were these biz ops? AUSA Fletcher responds, so-called coaching services. Judge Stein says, Ms. Shaw, how do you now plead? Shaw responds, guilty. Judge Stein, are you pleading because you are guilty? Shah, yes. Judge Stein says, I'm signing the consent order of forfeiture in the sum of $6.5 million. Ms. Shaw, I find your plea is knowing. I accept your guilty plea and adjudge you guilty. Sentencing will be on October 12th. Jen Shah's lawyer is like, we have a trial on October 11th. Another date? AUSA, how about the week before Thanksgiving? Jen Shah's attorney, how about the week after Thanksgiving? Because these are, first of all, I'm sure Jen Shah is going to want to be with her family, but also the attorneys are going to want to be with their family, and they don't want to have this looming over them before the holiday. Okay. Judge Stein says, I'll set it for October 12th. Damn. Shah's attorney, this October 11th trial in the state court, not Shah. We've been waiting 5 years. Judge Stein, okay. Submission November 7th. So before Thanksgiving. Judge Stein says, continue to abide by your conditions of release. I'll see you at your sentencing. We are adjourned. This is a mess. This is a mess. But now I know the big question a lot of people have been having is, what will Bravo do? They've already filmed season 3. She's going to be a part of season 3. There's no way that she'll come back for a season 4. At this point, she's going to jail. And it makes me wonder if they decided to film recently because they kind of gave Bravo the heads up that she was going to plead guilty. We probably will see this all play out. Damn, not y'all trying to profit off of the sadness of this situation. But we're going to watch. And for the last time. You're not going to see Jen Shah on your TV screens, at least, until she heads on into jail. They're not waiting for the sentencing. Sentencing will be decided come November. Guys, I want to continue this conversation below. I know your reaction. I want your reaction to the transcript of what Jen Shah said in court, admitting to defrauding elderly people. Despite even a recent interview that she did, despite doing a recent interview and claiming that she is innocent, she has now decided to plead guilty. Let's have that conversation below. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.